everyone, my name is Circuit, and today's video is going to be a bit different than normal. Many of you have been asking me things like, how do you make a foam head, or got any tips on how to make a fursuit head? I'm here to give you guys some helpful tips, personally from my experience. If you've been a fursuit maker for a while now, these tips will probably not be helpful to you, but thanks for watching anyways. And just remember that this is not a tutorial, I'm just giving some helpful advice. So let's get started. Tip 1. Sketch out how you envisioned your fursuit. By doing this, you're going to get a good envision of what you're going for instead of just winging it. Make sure to get the front, side, and back views. Also jot down what it's going to have, like the features, the size, etc. Tip 2. Use the proper materials. Now I know what you're probably thinking, but Circuit, why do we need to know that? Everyone knows what materials to use, but I've actually seen a lot of people use poor or even harmful materials before, without even knowing it. The basic materials are 1 and/or a ½ inch foam, scissors, box cutter or X-Acto knife, hot glue gun and hot glue sticks, permanent marker, ruler, and scratch paper. A lot of these things you can actually just get at Dollar General or Walmart, or if you want to go to Joann's, they have a lot of good stuff too. Now the tools and materials that you want to avoid are cardboard, paper mache, craft glue, and worn out tools. Cardboard, paper mache, and just plant-based material in general will get moldy and wet because of your sweat. And hey, it rhymes! Try to avoid these materials and tools at all costs for your safety and your hygiene. And so then you don't gross people out. Tip number 3. Start off with basic shapes and work from there. So what I mean by this is just draw a basic shape and then slowly cut your way through it. So for example, when I wanted to make the jaw on this guy, I just simply took a piece of paper and just kind of sketched it out. A couple of these pieces together, I just drew it on a 1-inch foam. Like what I said, stuck them together and then carved until I got this. It might take a while, but it's very, very helpful, very useful, and it's definitely worth it. It's always good to start off too big than too small, because if you start off too big, then you can just carve your way back to the right size. And if it's too small, well, the nice thing about foam is that you can just add on more. Tip 4. Reference off of real-life animals. This also works for drawing too. So all you do is just simply look up some pictures of the animal that you want to draw, and look at their structure and anatomy. This is extremely helpful if you want your fursuit to actually look anatomically correct, so I highly, highly recommend doing it. Tip number 5. Ask for constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is great because people can point out something that you might have to improve on or fix. And don't be afraid to ask for help. There are plenty of other fursuiters out there and they're willing to help you. Tip number 6. Don't make your fursuit head look flat. When I say the word flat, I mean it doesn't have any volume or definition to it. It looks like it's just drawn on a piece of paper than if it's actually a real 3D object. To make it look more 3D and less flat, all you do is just add a piece of foam to the place that it's lacking. For example, let's say that the cheek was very flat and it wasn't puffed out. All I do is just add another circle foam piece and then carve as needed, and then voila, it's no longer some flat piece of paper. It's now puffed out. Yay! Tip number 7. Learn how to sew. Now I'm not saying you have to be a sewing expert or go out and buy a $500 sewing machine. Just learn the basics of sewing. Knowing how to sew comes in real handy when you need to attach 2 pieces of fur together, or any other material. Sewing instead of gluing is a lot more preferred because the glue can ruin the fur or whatever material it is, and it'll look really messy. Tip number 8. Be patient and do not rush through it. I cannot stress this enough. Do not rush your fursuit. Instead, put your heart and effort into it. Trust me, it's worth it. You'll be a lot happier with the end result if you were to actually put some effort and be patient with it, rather than just being like, I'll just put some foam here and just glue some fur there and call it a day. Also, if something's not cooperating or it's just not going your way, don't stress about it. Fursuit making is not always going to be easy, and it's okay to get angry and frustrated. If you need to take a break, then take one. If you need to eat, then please do. Whatever it takes for you to get refocused and feeling better. Remember that your physical and mental health is a lot more important than just a costume. Well, that pretty much wraps up this video. Are there any tips that I forgot? Or do you have any questions for me that I haven't answered? I read them all, so if you have one, then I'll make sure to answer it. But anyways, I hope these tips helped you guys, and if you do start a fursuit, please let me know. I'd love to see your fursuit, and I hope that these tips helped you with the fursuit making. So I guess I'll see you guys later. Bye! Happy fursuit building!